It's a massive week for the Kentucky Wildcats. 2 quad one games, both away from Rupp Arena. We're going to start this week talking about the Clemson game. It's a big one, ladies and gentlemen. First true road game, on-campus road game of the season. We'll talk about that on today's episode of the Wildcats Today Podcast. I'm your host, Andrew Stefaniak, writer and editor over at Kentucky Wildcats on SI. Joined by my co-host, Carson Nash. And Carson, it sounds like you got a message for the people.
Yeah. So first off, happy Monday, everybody. Excited for y'all to be joining us on this fine Monday afternoon. But we are getting close to 2,000 subscribers. It looks like we're only around 150 away. So please keep hitting that subscribe button. It helps us tons. We love bringing you this content. And so hitting that subscribe button just shows us that you enjoy it as well. So keep smashing that. Keep liking and commenting. We love seeing all that. So yeah.
Smash it. So, Carson, it's a big week. It's a big week. I'm starting to see people saying, well, Kentucky, they played Duke and then they've played, Ligma State a bunch of times. And I'm starting to see a lot of that kind of vibe from people that aren't buying in. And I'm excited for this week because it's an opportunity. And I love opportunities. This is an opportunity for Kentucky to shut everybody up. You go 2-0 this week, everyone's going to shut up. Honestly, if you go 1-1 and you're competitive in both games, I think at least people are going to know, okay, well, you played 2 away games and you 1-1 hung around. Now let's go 2-0. I don't want to put that in the universe, but this is a big week to prove we believe that this can. We're number 4 in college basketball right now. Like, it's not like we're 19 and we're like, well, maybe we're good, maybe we're not.
First time since February 2022, might I add.
Yeah. And so but this is a chance to go and really prove that you are number 4. Because I think there's a lot of people that are just saying, well, they got a good win over Duke. And then it's kind of just a bunch of a lot of teams have played more quality games. Well, here's Kentucky's chance. So when it comes to this Clemson game, Carson, we'll get into the X's and O's of the game and talk about some stuff about Clemson and all that. But, how are you just flat out early into the week, games tomorrow night, late, which I don't love, but how are you feeling about this ball game right now?
Right now, I actually feel pretty good. I think Kentucky's been playing good ball. I think the second half spark last Friday against Georgia State was huge to see late in that game. But I feel good. I feel like this is an older team, so they're not going to be too shell-shocked by a rough environment, a rowdy, raucous crowd down there at Clemson. I know they're good. They have a good fan base, a lot of good students and involvement down there. So should be crazy. But I don't think that's going to throw our guys off too much. I think these guys know their game. They know what they're coming there to do, and they're going to succeed. Pope's going to put them in the best possible scenarios to succeed every time. And our guys, I think, have the extra oomph to get through the finish line, in my opinion. They've been there. They've done that. They're battle tested. And I think that wins out in this one.
Exactly. That's my first thought about going to play your first on-campus road game at Clemson. Obviously, the game against Gonzaga is in Seattle, but it's not, in the kennel. So this is your first real test. But you're right, Carson. I just don't think these I think these players are groomed for this. They've played. How many it'd be curious how many combined road games this team's played, because it's a lot. When you have a lot of now players like Amari Williams and some Ainsley Almanor probably haven't played in a ton of games in these environments, but they've played in big moments. Almanor's, he beat Purdue. The point is, even the guys that played at smaller schools, they played early season games against really good programs. Every one of the teams played in these environments. Kirk Creesa, Otega Owe, Lamont Butler. These guys have played in these environments often. Jackson Robinson. They've been in these environments often. So you are built to go play in these environments. You have a roster that it's not I would be terrified of this basketball game right now if we had a normal Calipari roster, just because that normally means you've got a lot of young guys, and young guys don't typically play well in the first road game. So I feel a lot more confident in this game than if we were a really young team, without question. So, Carson, also, do you have any thoughts about Georgia State when it comes to this game? Because I've got a couple things I want to share, but what are your thoughts on that? Like what we saw against Georgia State, how it make you feel about this matchup with Clemson?
Yeah, when the first thought was, I think the first half was not so great, right? I mean, you saw a Georgia State team hang around and play you close and just cause some disruption for you in the first half. But that second half, when Clash decided to hurt people.
He was doing it all game, by the way.
Did you know that? I know. I saw the pull down on Andrew Carr at the end of the first half.
Yeah. It
was unreal. I mean, he was out there clearly to hurt people. There was no try on the ball in most of those plays.
There's no need for that in basketball either. I mean,
no need. And nephew of a former Duke player. That's what you expect. That's what you expect out of those type of people. But just kind of ridiculous. But what I love to see about the Kentucky Wildcats was how they rallied around that.
Yeah.
And Kobe Brea was the first one when Omari got pushed to the ground to go and knock Clash Peters down. And we rallied around that. And we were like, yeah, it's a close game now. Good luck after this. And went on a huge run. I don't know the exact run, but I mean, we were only up by 6. It felt like 6-8. And then we went by 30 points. So
I'll tell you this. I love what Kobe Bryant did because that's what you do for your teammates. Did you see the hit on Trevor Lawrence yesterday?
Oh my gosh, that was brutal.
Same example. You stand up for your guys.
Yeah.
You aren't a dirty team. Kentucky's not a dirty basketball team. Coach Pope does not teach that.
No, not at all.
I'll tell you one thing, and I know that there aren't such things as Georgia State fans to be mad about this, but the coach's response to that scuffle, I was not a fan.
What did he say? I didn't get to hear it.
He was defending like, well, we play physical basketball. There's physical basketball, and then there's that.
I mean, he went straight for his legs.
I mean, once again, I'd have to read the full quote again, but I mean, it just when I read it, I mean, he wasn't condoning stuff like that, but he was basically saying we play a physical brand of basketball. That wasn't the right response to that as a coach. It kind of irked me. No. It wasn't like he was like, heck yeah, more of that. He didn't say that, but it was kind of more of the fact that it was like, you know, I think that's my thought.
Kentucky plays physical basketball. That's not physical basketball. That's trying to hurt somebody.
But exactly, and there's just no need for that in the game. But what I do love is what Kobe Bryant did. Hell yes. Someone hits your brother, you hit him right back. Now, I mean, I keep it to push, no punches, punches.
Don't get ejected. We still need you, Kobe.
Or get suspended. I mean, he throws a punch, he could have missed. You know what I mean? True. Keep it to push, just shoving, no punches, which we did a good job of that. It was really cool also to see Mark Pope run out there.
Yeah,
that was awesome. I really thought that was cool,
even though he was just trying to separate everybody.
No, but I mean, I'm just that he was like. Did you see the video? I saw it on Twitter of him last year at BYU. Someone was like wailing on one of his players. Why did my thing just turn off?
Oh, that's weird. There's a ghost in Andrew's room.
Evidently. There we go. But now I got the mic video going on. I got
the albino sniper, Godfather edition.
Yeah, I know. But I've got the sniper gang on mic going here. But you know. Did you see the video, though, of Mark Pope doing that last year at BYU? Where literally, I saw it on Twitter. He went out to go defend one. So there was like a dude on top of one of his players, like wailing on him. And Mark Pope just goes and boxes this dude out. And this dude's like wailing on Pope now. And he's like boxing this guy out, like protecting his player. It was awesome.
That's awesome.
I love Coach Pope.
That's awesome.
But I like the way this team responded too, Carson. The other thing I'll say too, in a weird way, and this isn't like an X's and O's thing, but I like that we haven't shot the ball particularly well these last 2 games. I think it's like a law of averages because we know.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, now you're going into a harder week, and you shot bad last week.
Yeah, it's kind of like you always hate playing like Alabama of last year. You never wanted to play them after a game where they shot.
Yeah,
never want to do that. I think that's kind of where we're at. It's like if I'm Clemson right now, I'm going, oh man, Kentucky shot the ball like crap last week. Here comes 16 of 31, and we're cooked.
Yeah,
like I think you're going to kind of see that effect. But so what do you think is going to be like? What does Kentucky need to do, Carson, to go into Clemson, South Carolina, and get this win over a solid top 20 team in net rankings basketball team?
The first thing, most important thing, is to slow down Chase Wright. It's Chase
Chase
Hunter. Sorry, confused. But he is averaging around 16.5 points a game. He is shooting around 5 3-pointers a game. He is shooting at a high clip.
Yeah.
He's almost at 50%.
Yeah.
3-point shooting. So I think you got to slow him down. He's their best player, but they only have 3 guys that average double figures for them. So it doesn't. They're not a very complete team, in my opinion, based off of what I've seen. So if you really stop him, I think it's going to be hard for them to score. Like I think they're going to have a very hard time scoring against us. So yeah, the main focus is, hey, he's 6'4". You know who's going to line up next to him? Mr. Otega-Oweh or Lamont Butler. Either one could guard him. Exactly. But I say you throw both those guys at him the whole time and just let him just put them in L. This is what I would say.
I'm with you. Now, for me, Clemson's got a player I really like. His name's Ian Shefflin. PJ Hall, I keep forgetting, that was their good guy last year, right? That was his name, PJ Hall.
Yeah.
PJ Hall and him kind of split minutes a little bit last year. Obviously, like Shefflin would come in. They played together some, but for the most part, he was kind of coming in for him. And he was a freshman, he's a senior? I thought he was a freshman last year. Never mind. I was wrong about that. The Shefflin kid, he's a senior. I distinctly remember watching them last year because I was impressed with him. I don't know why I thought he was younger than he is. He's a senior. But point still stands. He is a really good player, and he's a good passer. That's what stands out to me about the Shefflin kid. 12.5 points per game, 11.6 rebounds per game, 3.6 assists per game. He's a complete basketball player. Solid player. He kind of plays similar to how a forward plays in Kentucky's system, knowing he likes to pass the ball. He likes to shoot the ball, gets downhill. He's good around the rim. He's a really complete basketball player. I figure that Andrew Carr will draw that assignment. If I had to guess, it'd be Andrew Carr drawing that assignment.
I would assume.
But because they also have a center, they've got a taller center. Where did this guy transfer from?
Victor Lackin.
Cincinnati. I knew that because he played with what was the one? Frederick. TJ Frederick.
Frederick.
But man, legendary random Kentucky Wildcat pull there. But
he would have been good in a Mark Pope offense.
He would have. That is true. But Carson, I agree with everything you said. Hunter's a great player, and you're right. But I think it was like 5. I just looked. It's over 5 3-point attempts per game, and he's shooting about 46%. That's scary.
That's called lethal.
Yeah. So, to me, there's 3 words that are going to make you win this game, and it's defense, defense, defense. Seriously, what I love about this basketball team, and it's what you did against Duke. You didn't come out. Well, it's actually kind of funny. You did come out firing early, shooting the ball, and you kind of cooled off the last 10 minutes of the first half, and you were at a deficit. But your defense just kept you within striking distance to where you struck. And that's what they do. If this defense, when they're not playing well offensively, can just keep you within 10 points, Kentucky is never out of a basketball game. So that's what I want to see in this game. If the shots aren't falling early, play defense, keep yourself in the game, and see what happens.
You want to know 2 stats that make me have a positive outlook for this game?
Let me hear it.
They average 8 less rebounds than we do a game, and they average almost 1.5 more turnovers than we do.
Yeah.
So if you go in and you cause more turnovers and you get more rebounds, it leads me to believe that you're going to win the game based on how we normally play. If you can do that and go in and exploit their weaknesses, because they turn it over a good amount See, we turn it over a good amount, but we also have we might have the most assists in the country per game. It's close. It's one of the top, probably 5, 10.
Sure we do.
But they only assist 14 times a game, and they turn it over 11.1 or 2. So that's not that good. So if you can force a lot of turnovers, get some easy buckets in this game, and defend like you're capable of, I think this should be a pretty. I don't want to say easy win because that seems like poor taste.
Yeah.
But you should be able to handle business Tuesday night, in my opinion.
I'm going to pick Kentucky to win here in a minute, Carson, but I don't have a ton of confidence just because I'll be honest with you. there's a lot of teams in the country that have played a lot more quality opponents than we have that I feel like you got a better understanding. I am 98% sure we know who this Kentucky team is, but that 2% is what scares me because I believe we're going to come out firing and I believe we're going to win this basketball game, but I don't know if we're going to win it by more than, kind of 8-10 points.
Okay.
I don't think.
Let me ask you this question.
All right.
So what outcomes would change your mind on this Kentucky team from this game?
That's a good question. I don't think that, let's say we lose this game. I'm not going to come on this podcast on Thursday and say, well, we suck. Pack it in. Mark Stoops will be back on the football field here in a few months, and we got something to look forward to. Not what I'm going to be saying. But I will. I believe in our defense. I believe in our shooting, but I want to see us put it all together in a game. I think that Clemson would be a middle of the road SEC game. And one thing, Carson, we have a rough schedule, a really, really tough schedule.
We were going to get to that.
Yeah, and we're going to get to it. So we'll dive more into it. But point is, I think this is, if you had to rank, you have 17 quad one games left on the schedule. If you had to rank them right now, I would say this one's outside the top 10. So I'll be concerned if you don't go handle business because there's a lot scarier stuff ahead.
But then again, you can use it as a counter argument and say if you lose this one, it's not too hurtful because you got a lot of areas, a lot of games to make it up.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, when you have that many quad one games, you have a lot of opportunities to.
Would you say there? I saw a thing that said they were ranked number 1 in strength of schedule, but we just got off the phone. What were you telling me?
I saw that it was number 2, but it was weird because I saw someone tweet the exact website it's ESPN. It's like their power index, whatever. And the tweet was from 11 hours ago. And we were number 1 and Kansas State was number 11. And then I refreshed it and Kansas State's number 1 and we're number 2. And I'm going, how would they have gone from 11 to 1? What could have happened? Point being, we have a top 3 strength of schedule remaining, which is a good thing and a bad thing. I mean, it can go both ways. But no, nothing's going to happen tomorrow, Carson, that I'm like, well, we suck. I mean, I don't. If I was coming off that way, that's not what I'm trying to get.
No,
at.
I'm saying regardless. Say we go in and win by 20. What's your outlook there?
If we go in and win by 20, I will gain even more. Once again, I want to see us do it again. I mean,
I agree with you.
Kentucky's a rivalry. Yeah. A real serious rivalry when it comes to 2 of the best programs in college basketball history. It's kind of like I was getting ready to say in most rivalries, the teams always show up. Obviously, that didn't happen. We saw that on Saturday because we sucked. We'll talk about that on Wednesday. We'll talk about that on Wednesday.
We're gonna have a big pot on Wednesday.
Yes, but point is, you have a lot of times in rivalry games. Even a team that's maybe a little bit outgunned, they always show up. Not always, but 8 times out of 10. It's why rivalries are so good. I want to make sure that we didn't just win a game where we were fired, pumped up to go play Duke and under the bright lights and all these guys wearing Kentucky jerseys. That's all I'm saying, because that's all we played. We played Duke, and then it's been a bunch of just meh teams. I mean, that's why we're 1-0 in quad 1, and then we have 3 quad 3s and 3 quad 4s. That's really been the reality of it. So I want to see a game where against another solid team where we go and look good. That's all I'm saying. I want to make sure that we are not a one-hit wonder.
No, I agree. I agree with everything you just said.
That's my whole thing. And I don't think that's the case. I just want to be proved. I want to be proved right about this team that they're darn good. Mike just texted UK 2-point favorites.
Okay. Okay, let's do an early reaction. Where are you feeling with that? What are you betting? If you could, you have one take right now.
First of all, I want to know where he got that line because I'm not seeing it, but I trust him. And obviously, we don't have any more football games, so he's got to be talking about basketball.
He definitely wouldn't be talking about favorites, talking about football.
Yeah, no kidding. If he 2 points, I'd probably take us to cover 2 points. If it was 5.5, I would say no, thank you. But 2 points.
I think I need to go bet that right now. 2.5 points. I think I need to go bet that right now.
Where do you get it?
That's what I'm saying. Maybe hopefully DraftKings.
Maybe
it's early though for a.
Yeah, normally they come out. That's why it's so surprising you texted that, because I don't normally they put them out like exactly. All right, let's take a gander here. On our friends over at FanDuel. So okay, the game tomorrow. Well, it's not easy to pull up, but so you said you would go right now and bet at the 2 points, Carson?
Yeah,
go this second. You wouldn't even think twice about it. Yeah, Kentucky -1.5 on FanDuel is the line right now. So if you have any interest in that and enjoy,
I probably alt spread it up to probably like 3.5 to get plus money.
And if you're a person who enjoys wagering on sports, there's an opportunity to go bet on your Cats. But so that's what I want to see, Carson. I want us to prove if we had played Duke and then even like another just kind of even like a mid-tier power, 4 school. What even is it now in basketball?
Well, let me tell you this, right? So I know our fans really want to get back involved with the Maui Invitational.
Yeah.
Talk about fun basketball. That was fun basketball.
And UConn lost, which is fun.
Yeah. But I was getting ready to talk about that as well, right? So you've got the old, and Cal did the same thing, where you play these teams that are good early on and you suffer these losses like Dan Hurley did. He's 0-3. He was 0 for 3 in the Maui Invitational. And in his post-game interview, he's talking about how he's never going to play in one of those tournaments ever again. So there's positives in playing teams like that. But again, if your team isn't ready for it, it could also hurt you in the long run. Yeah. And so I think this year with scheduling, I think we went the more safe route early on.
Yeah.
And didn't play in those games just because it's Pope's first year, right? No one really knew what to expect from this team. He built it in 3 months. So scheduling those games early, and I think most of them had already been on the schedule from previous contracts, probably with Cal and all of that worked out. Yeah. So I think you'll start to see us play better teams earlier on in the future. But I think for this year, we can complain about it all that we want to. But I think it was the smart thing to do this year.
Yeah. And I'll tell you what, we're going to learn a lot about the SEC on Tuesday and Wednesday. We thought the SEC was great last year. And then you get into the tournament, Kentucky loses early. Tennessee did well. Obviously, Alabama did well. But, some of the better SEC teams lost early. And,
Auburn and Kentucky lost in the first round. Exactly. Who else lost?
I forget.
Texas A&M got beat.
I thought Texas A&M made it to Sweet 16. Did they not?
Did they? Well, they still got beat.
Was that a lie? Texas. Well, yeah. Touche. We are the number 1 Texas A&M basketball hating podcast in the continental United States. And on top of that, Wade Taylor as well. But Kentucky, Clemson, Arkansas, Miami, Notre Dame, Georgia, Cal, Missouri. There's just some Tennessee, Syracuse. How does Tennessee get to host Syracuse?
Yeah.
That's silly. Ole Miss at Louisville is going to be a fun one. Then on Wednesday, you got Auburn heading to play Duke and Cameron Indoor, Alabama heading to play North Carolina. There's some good games. Well, we're going to learn a lot about this conference. I think based on the home and away, I'm going to be honest with you, I think the ACC has a definite advantage. Right now.
Yeah, I'd say so. They put most of their – I think but to be fair, the ACC has been rough this year.
Yeah. All of the good SEC teams are going to play good ACC teams on the road, and then all of the SEC teams are hosting games. Like Florida hosts a game against Virginia, they'll win that one by 1,000,000.
Yeah.
We got to go play against Clemson. Auburn's playing Duke, North Carolina's playing Alabama. All those games are on the road. We're kind of they're putting 2 hands behind our back and putting us in handcuffs on this one and saying good luck. So we'll see. I'm not trying to make early excuses for the SEC. Yes. It'll be the 3rd time Carson's been there this month. But I think that this is. I'll still take the SEC. If you could bet on that right now, I'd still take the SEC.
Me too. I think the SEC is an outright better conference than the ACC this year in basketball. Yeah. I think the SEC is I'm putting it out. They're the best basketball conference this year, in my opinion.
I don't think it's debatable.
I don't think it's close either. You have Auburn, Alabama, Kentucky. Those 3 alone are top 10 teams, plus
Yeah.
Tennessee. I didn't want to mention them, but they're good too. Removed myself on accident. That's how
There you go.
it was the gods. I talked about Tennessee and they were like, just shut up. But,
Get him out of here.
Yeah.
Kick down the door.
But I still think they're a little overrated, but you can't argue that they're at least the top 10 team.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm very excited about this SEC ACC thing. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I just can't wait to just like rub pizza grease on myself and just watch basketball for 2 straight days. It's gonna be great. I'm really excited about it. I mean, just flat out, you know what I mean? Just get on the couch, wings,
pizza of choice. Let's go. Let's hear it.
Pizza of choice in Lexington?
Yes. Yeah, let's stick to name brands, like just your Friday night, you're tired, you just want to order a pizza.
All right. Well, I love Donato's. That's my go-to. It's expensive as heck, but I love it. But in Lexington, Mirror Twin is my favorite place to get pizza by far. Just in Lexington, my personal opinion. If you like Mirror Twin, leave a comment.
Yeah, I'm a Donato's guy too. Donato's.
What about just a Lexington place, a local Lexington place?
I like Goodfellas. I'm a Goodfellas guy.
At 3 a.m. or normally? After a good old gala, after
the one downtown probably gets more use out of my credit card than the one on
Yep. I think everyone can say the same thing. Yeah, everyone around our age can say the same thing.
Yeah.
No question. So, I mean, Carson, any other keys to this game against Clemson? Who needs to play well? Who needs to step up? And then here in a minute, we'll get to predictions and MVPs and stuff.
I think the guy that I'm leaning my heavyweight on, because I expect Ortega to be our best player. I think Ortega is our best player at this point.
I'm now fully bought in on that.
Yeah. I really would like to see another good game. He's been playing really well so far, like recently, is Lamont Butler. I think his continued success is huge for this team, and he has to guard well against Hunter. He has to. But I think looking for Lamont to be our big player is key. I think Andrew Carr has a big matchup as well if he's the one that they choose to put on their big guy. But I really want to see good things out of Lamont. I think your point guard has to calm you down on the road. He has to be your leader, has to call out plays louder than normal because you can't really hear in there, like you just got to be a leader. And I look to Lamont to be that guy.
Lamont Butler, I mean, has really outseeded my expectations early into this season when it comes to scoring. 12.4 points per game.
So good around the rim.
Heating.
So good.
And I mean, if you really look at it, 17, 14, 11, 16 in his last 4 games, he's heating up. So get downhill, Lamont Butler. Get downhill.
There's not many people that can stop him when he wants to get to the rim because he's so strong
too, and he's strong and he finishes well. Him and Ortega getting to the rim.
That's what I was trying to say. Him and Ortega. Oh man, they're both like the same in the way that they finish because they use their bodies so well.
Yes, and they're strong.
Has no chance. Like they put themselves in the best possible position so that the defender has no chance at stopping them from scoring.
Yeah, I mean, the 3 best shots on our basketball team are a Kobe Bryant 3, a Lamont Butler drive to the rim, and an Ortega Owe drive to the rim. You could make the argument for an Andrew Carr kind of.
An Andrew Carr post up is kind of nice right now.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that works too. So it's hard to. We have a lot of good shots on our team.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's my biggest takeaway from this team right now. We all knew they were going to be good from 3, right? I mean, they were put together to be good from 3.
Yeah.
But the inside scoring, the efficiency on the inside shots, and our defense right now are the 2 things that I looked at and I was like, I'm not so sure, but I'm completely sold on our inside scoring and our defense now. Both of those areas before the season, people were very questionable. Like no one really expected us to be able to get to the rim like we do.
Yeah.
Or defend the way we do. And I think both those areas being as good as they are, it's helped us become the number 4 team in the country. And I think we could be top 3. I think we're better than 4.
Yeah. So I'm with you. I agree with you. I think the keys to this game, Shoot the ball better. I think we're due for it. I like that we didn't shoot the ball well. A lot of people are like, oh, I'm worried about shooting the ball. I like it because they can. I kind of like that we didn't shoot the ball well the last 2 games. So shoot the ball well, keep playing hard defense. If the shots aren't falling, score around the rim. That's the keys to victory for me. Slow this Hunter kid, slow Shefflin. Think you win the game. I think you win this basketball game, and you defend your conference, and that's what we want to see. You want to look good for the SEC.
Mm-hmm.
You lose, you're kicked out of the SEC. That's what I've always said. New rule: if you lose, you can go join the Big Ten. Yeah,
that would hurt the SEC funding.
Carson,
that would hurt.
Yes.
What were you saying?
It would do that. All right, give me a score prediction. I said give me a score prediction and an MVP, and let's get out of here.
Yeah, I got the Cats. I don't think they break the century mark, unfortunately, in this one, but I got them close. I think they score 95 points, and I think Clemson scores 82.
Oh.
I
you really believe in us scoring?
Dude, we're the number 1 team in points per game. We average 3 points per game. And I get
but that's not going to be sustainable.
Yeah, well, is it sustained? It's 7 games and it's sustained.
I mean, you know what I'm saying. When we get into SEC play, we're not going to be averaging.
I'm predicting us to score less than our average. So how can you be mad at me?
1 point less?
Yeah.
1 point. One.
Yeah. I know, but hey, just watch.
Kentucky's going to win this game 82-75 is my prediction. 82-75. I think that's going to be
defense. You think Clemson's defense is capable of holding us to only 4 less points than Duke?
I just on the road
and more points than Duke. Sorry.
I think the road thing is going to play a factor in this game. Not massive.
That's fair. I mean, that's a fair take. Yeah, that's completely fair.
Not massive, but it's going to be a factor. I think that they might jump out to a little lead, and we have to kind of fight back. It's going to be tough. We are playing on the road. Now, obviously, Clemson, I don't think cares about basketball yet. They've still got some stuff to worry about.
Well, no, they lost to South Carolina.
Yeah, but I think that they're still in the ACC tournament. Well, so did we. I think they're still in the ACC championship game because of Miami losing. If I'm
really?
right,
that conference.
Well, here I can tell you. Well, that is true. No one cares. They all suck. But let's see. Am I right about that? Hard hitting is Clemson still in the SEC, in the race for the ACC championship game. They are. They play.
I guarantee you it'll be a sellout. I think it'll be a sellout.
In the ACC championship game. SMU. I forgot SMU's in the ACC.
SMU.
So that is that. Hard-hitting stuff we figured out here. So did you give up your MVP? I heard your score pick.
Oh, no, I didn't give my MVP yet. I'm going to take Lamont Butler as my MVP as much as I want him to do well. I think he will be the MVP. I think he leads us and keeps our offense steady and defends as well as he's capable of against Hunter. And I think Hunter's one of those guys, in my opinion, right? But you're never going to shut him down. Like those guys, you won't shut them down. It's all about making them way more inefficient than they typically would be. You want them to shoot more shots than they would and miss more than they would. So that's what you want to hold him to. Definitely not saying he's going to go scoreless or anything like that. But I think Lamont's going to play a really good game, and I think he wins your MVP.
Yeah, that's fair. For me, it's a player I think that you need to play well, and that's Kobe Brea. I think he's going to shoot the ball well in this game. He did not. I want to pull up the exact numbers. Tell me if you know, Carson. He did not have his best shooting night against.
Oh, Georgia. Yeah, I don't have the numbers up right now.
I think did he make 2? Here, I'll tell you in like 3 seconds. I think he was like 2 for 7 or something. Let's see. I'll tell you right now. In this game, he was
2 of 7.
That's funny. I literally just kind of like said numbers. 2 of 7. That's what it felt like, and I was right. 2 of 7 from 3. So not his best night.
No.
I think he's going to have a good. Which I mean, honestly, 2 of 7. If he's not 5 of 7, it feels like he shot like crap.
I mean, we shot 26% from 3.
I love that. I'm so excited.
I love that too. I know.
And won by 30. I don't care because I don't care about that game. I care about this game. So I think Kobe Brea is going to give us 15 plus in this game, make some threes. and really some quiet the crowd threes in this game. So
Mhm.
I want to see Brea shoot it well. I wanted our team to shoot well. Go 17 for 32 from 3 tomorrow, and this won't even be interesting. And then, Carson, I'm all in on your 95-point bull crap.
Yeah,
So
I need a classic Krissa game.
I'd love that. I'd love that too.
I want him to hit 3 threes and just go after the student section with his antics.
Yes, jump in it and start doing something. Yeah, I could see you doing that. So I could see you doing that. That's going to do it for us today. It's going to be a fun ball game, ladies and gentlemen. I know we're all looking forward to it. On Wednesday, we're going to give our State of the Union on Kentucky football. And there's going to be a lot of negativity, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah,
and I'd like to just do it right now, but we're going to do it Wednesday.
There's a lot of built-up frustration, I feel, from the fan base, from us, from everything. We just really want to talk about the program and its nature right now, and kind of our thoughts on maybe what needs to happen, what should happen.
Yeah. So we'll do that Wednesday, and then on Thursday we will preview the Gonzaga game. Might put that up Friday. We'll talk about that, Carson. So we'll tell you that on Wednesday, obviously. But that's the plan for the rest of the week. Like we said at the beginning of this, if you haven't hit that subscribe button, we're so close to 2,000 subscribers. That would be really huge for us. That's our goal right now. So please keep hitting that button. We really appreciate it. Hope everyone has a great rest of their Monday. Enjoy Monday Night Football. We need 16 points out of the Broncos defense for Mike to beat Cameron and keep me alive for a playoff spot. So everyone root for that. But we will see you all on Wednesday right here on the Wildcats Today podcast.